Welcome to our project and to the innovative GAIA smart farming system. The purpose of this webinar is to present you the basic elements of the project, to familiarize you with the term smart farming and the services of GAIA, but also to provide you with specific information concerning the cultivation that was studied in your area. You will also have the opportunity to watch an informative video concerning the project and to hear the views of a farmer and the director AC. So, let's start. Life GAIA has a total budget of around 3 million euros. It has started on July 2018 and finishes at the end of June 2022. Coordinator of the project is an innovative informatics and technology company, named Neuropublic, based in Greece. And partners are, from Greece, Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, GAIA Epicurean, Agricultural Cooperative Partnership Mirabello Union, and Asapop Velvente, from Spain, Vina Costera, and from Portugal, Confagri. Our LIFE project had many objectives, among which, to demonstrate GAIA, a smart farming solution that can reduce natural resources consumption, to protect the environment and support circular economy models. To launch 18 demonstrators in Greece, Spain, Portugal, covering 9 crops in various terrain and microclimatic conditions. To demonstrate an innovative technology-based method, which will be affordable to smallholder farmers as individuals or collectively through agricultural cooperatives. To demonstrate how the farmer will be able to decide either to use or avoid inputs, irrigation, fertilizers, pesticides, etc., in a most efficient way, without risking the annual production. To contribute to the implementation of the roadmap to a resource-efficient Europe. But at this point I would like to go a step back and see together what we mean when we talk about smart farming, as I have already talked about GAIA, which is an innovative smart farming solution. Smart farming is an integrated approach to managing agricultural activity utilizing modern technologies. It is the combination of scientific research and knowledge, data and practical experience in order to support producers in making decisions related to the management of their production. Smart farming is essentially a production system that utilizes the achievements and creations of technology. It utilizes specific decision-making processes, by using modern technological information and communications, combines all different factors of production and improves its productivity and competitiveness, but also the agricultural income and the living standard of the farmer. An integrated smart farming system therefore guarantees lower input costs combined with increased yields on each crop. This practically means less fertilizations, less sprays, more rational use of water and required energy consumption, and consequently improvement of the final product as better organoleptic characteristics are achieved. All of this goes through an investment of knowledge. Knowledge that will allow every producer to know what his field needs, and when he needs it, to know what are the risks of production, what disease and in which part of his plot is in danger, to know when the weather is bad, if risks desertification, and protect its production in a timely manner. Along with the implementation of a smart farming system, we can achieve the reduction of the environmental footprint, thus achieving compliance with the new European regulations. Let us not forget that we have already entered an era in which we need to have evidence, to be able to trace how something is grown and its environmental costs in order to continue to have access to European funding, which is essential for the sustainability and development of the producer. Having mentioned all the above, we come to the innovative technological solution proposed by the GAIA smart farming system, which we have utilized in the framework of the LIFE GAIA project. GAIA is a Greek innovation that combines information technologies with agronomic science in a holistic way. It is a complete production management system receiving and processing data from 4 dimensions. GAIA collects data from the field, satellite, scientist and producer, and then gives the tools to the agricultural consultant, researcher and farmer. In this way it utilizes all available technology to lead to the right decisions that eventually can lead to its economic and environmental benefits. But the European innovation of GAIA is that it concerns everyone. For the first time every farmer can benefit from it, even if he has a few acres. And in fact without having to invest a single euro in technological equipment. For the first time, any agricultural consultant can use all the 4-dimensional tools to be informed about all aspects of his client's crops. For the first time, the researcher has a tool with which he draws large-scale data from all agricultural areas and can test the result of his research in a productive, real environment. Having said all the above, let's go through the 4 dimensions of GAIA system. GAIA Sense Field is the first dimension, the dimension of monitoring the crop's growing environment. GAIA Sense Field offers valuable information by recording, analyzing and interpreting atmospheric and soil data at specific points within the fields every time it passes, uninterruptedly. These data are collected by the GAIA telemetric stations, which are installed at selected points of selected parcels in order to be representative for each crop of a whole area. GAIA stations are manufactured, installed and operated by GAIA Sense, without any financial burden for cooperating producers or agricultural advisors. They are designed and developed specifically for the needs of the GAIA Sense services and are part of an extensive pan-Hellenic network that measures the environmental parameters. The density of the GAIA atmospheric measurement stations' network is such that at least one station corresponds to each type of crop in each microclimate zone, no matter how small that zone is. Accordingly, the density of the GAIA soil measurement stations network is such that for each soil area and for each crop there is a station. GAIA Sense Remote is the second dimension, the dimension of seeing crops from above. GAIA Sense Remote collects, processes and exploits information for every part of the parcel. The information is acquired from sources such as satellites, aircraft and other aerial vehicles that are equipped with state-of-the-art image capturing systems. The GAIA Sense Remote dimension is utilized to allow GAIA Sense and its users have a detailed and up-to-date picture of the plant's vitality and the status of the soil. The status of the plants and soil is represented in the form of indices which value change in space and time, such as vegetation, indices of the soil's water status, etc. These indices can be used along with information from the GAIA Sense Field dimension, referring to atmospheric and soil and other records in the GAIA Sense Farm and GAIA Sense I dimensions that are related to the cultivation activities of the producer and observations that are acquired through the field respectively. GAIA Sense Farm is the third dimension, the dimension of recording and evaluating any significant action that takes place within the field. GAIA Sense Farm is a very important dimension of recording the actions that the producer takes in his field and crop, in order for the user to make the most of the benefits GAIA Sense can give to the crop of a particular field. The farmer who cultivates the field should become part of the exploitation of the GAIA Sense Farm. GAIA Sense offers the information system to record all information that is related to the daily cultivation work of the producer, such as fertilization application, plant protection, time and duration of irrigation. This is the full and detailed picture of the exploitation, which contributes significantly to the decision-making process. GAIA Sense I is the last but certainly not the least important dimension, the dimension of observing and analyzing the cultivation closely. The information is related to the state of cultivation, through field observations and sampling. With GAIA Sense I, the producer or agricultural advisor makes several observations during their field visit using GAIA Sense specially designed smartphone applications. Such information includes observing symptoms of infection or infestation, counting insects in insect traps, etc., but also data that come from analysis such as soil and leaf sampling. As you can realize, we talk about a great amount of data. Data that are further evaluated, combined and processed. And they are processed with the valuable help of GAIA Sense scientists and agronomists who are able to better understand the special needs and conditions of each plot and each farmer and can provide them with scientific smart farming advices. And when we talk about scientific advices, we mean smart farming irrigation advices. To identify the appropriate time and the optimal amount of water for irrigation, it should be noted that the irrigation tips also take into account the irrigation system which is installed in the field, drip, sprinkler, with microsprinklers, underground irrigation, and the advice given is appropriately adapted to it. We also provide smart farming crop management advices, in order to timely warn the producer when, for example, the conditions are possible for an enemy disease to occur. We notify the producer and then he is able to carry out a spraying to protect his crop. Last but not the least, we also talk about fertilization advices. through soil analysis carried out on the basis of a specific protocol which has been developed in conjunction with the scientific models that have been developed and configured for the specific soil zone, we are able to provide an advice on intelligent fertilization and a fertilization plan having identified the needs of the plant in nutrients, in order to avoid the effects of overfertilization but also underfertilization, thus contributing decisively to the protection of the environment and the aquifer. So, in the context of the Life Gaia Sense project, we have developed a large-scale, smart farming infrastructure in 18 pilot areas in Portugal, Spain and Greece, which corresponds to more than 70 pilot sites, 9 different crops: olive, peach, cotton, pistachio, potato, industrial tomato, table tomato, almond and kiwi, in a variety of soil and microclimatic conditions. Let's see at this point an interesting video for Life Gaia Sense.
Land and people, a link of life. A link that almost broke with the intensive farming methods of the past decades. Education, science, and respect of our natural resources came to change that, and sustainability became top priority. Changing mentalities gave rise to smart farming, eco-friendly, and future-oriented farming. A large-scale, smart farming infrastructure. 18 pilot sites in 3 EU countries, Greece, Portugal and Spain, with various microclimatic conditions and different crops: olive, peach, cotton, pistachio, potato, tomato, walnut, kiwi and grapes, are benefiting from Life Gaia Sense.
Η τέταρτη βιομηχανική επανάσταση, η οποία αυτή τη στιγμή έχει ξεκινήσει και έχει συμπαρασύρει όλους τους τομείς του πλανήτη, αδιαφυσβήτητα για τον πρωτογενή τομέα, σχετίζεται άρρηκτα με την ψηφιοποίησή του και την αξιοποίηση τεχνολογιών ευφυούς γεωργίας. Όλες αυτές οι τεχνολογίες, μέσα από συγκεκριμένα εργαλεία, όπως αυτά θα ενσωματωθούν από το Life Gaia Sense, μπορούν να διαμορφώσουν τις κατάλληλες γεωργικές συμβουλές, οι οποίες θα οδηγήσουν στην βελτιστοποίηση της ορθολογικής προστασίας αναφορικά με τη χρήση φυτοπροστατευτικών σκευασμάτων, αναφορικά με την διαχείριση του υδάτινου αποθέματος και ορθές πρακτικές λίπανσης και ευρύτερα διαχείρισης του κάθε ελαιώνα που κατά βάση έχουμε εδώ στην περιοχή μας. Οπότε μέσα από αυτό το κομμάτι μπορούμε να διεκδικήσουμε την αειφορία, τη βελτιστοποίηση του περιβαλλοντικού αποτυπώματος, άρα να οδηγηθούμε σε πιο ποιοτικό παραγόμενο προϊόν και βέβαια σε μεγαλύτερη βιωσιμότητα του ίδιου του ελαιώνα.
Gaia Sense gives new meaning to smart farming. Based on the concept of circular economy, Life Gaia Sense works towards reducing the use of inputs in farming and measures the benefits to the environment, the economy, and society. It senses the soil, the weather conditions, the needs of the crops. It connects data, natural resources, and inputs. It calculates conditions and quantities, and acts in order to achieve the perfect combination of higher production with the minimum use of resources.
Οτιδήποτε μας δίνει η τεχνολογία είναι πρόσδεκτο να το δοκιμάσουμε λοιπόν και εμείς στις καλλιέργειές μας. Ευελπιστούμε ότι θα έχουμε καλύτερα αποτελέσματα στο θέμα της καλλιέργειας της ελιάς, διότι μπορούμε με τους αισθητήρες τους οποίους έχει ο συγκεκριμένος σταθμός και έχουμε επενδύσει σε αυτόν, βλέπουμε την υγρασία του εδάφους, άρα λοιπόν ποτίζουμε όταν πρέπει, γιατί το νερό είναι το πολυτιμότερο αγαθό πάνω στον πλανήτη.
The producer delivers the soil sample to the agronomist, who then registers it in the special digital application of Gaia Sense and fills in the necessary forms to send the sample to the lab. Based on the results of the soil analysis and other related information, smart fertilization advice is issued and sent to the producer, while personalized advice on crop protection and irrigation is also issued based on a combination of various data and information.
Σε νέες ηλικίες υπάρχει πολύ μεγάλη εξοικείωση με τη χρήση ψηφιακών τεχνολογιών, που επειδή αποτελούν ένα σημαντικό στρατηγικό κομμάτι της εφιούς γεωργίας και όλων των ψηφιακών μέσων, ήταν μια πολύ σημαντική για μας επιλογή το να έχουμε νέους αγρότες, γιατί μπορούσαν πολύ εύκολα να υιοθετήσουν τις συμβουλές και να τηρήσουν πιστά τα όποια προβλεπόμενα πρωτόκολλα περιλαμβάνονται σε αυτό.
Our natural resources are priceless, just as are our families and our lives. We become more competitive, we reduce our footprint, we provide for the future. The approach of Life GAIA Sense aims at more efficient use of resources in agriculture, reduced use of nitrogen by up to 30%, reduced use of pesticides by between 11 to 25%, reduced use of water by up to 25%, improved productivity, improved air quality, an ecosystem of stakeholders.
As we saw in the video, the smart farming infrastructure of Life GAIA Sense is expanding almost all over Greece, but also in some regions of Spain and Portugal. Let's now have a closer look to Portugal, and more precisely in the area where Confagri is actively collaborating with olive growers. The olive tree has been cultivated since ancient times and under different soil and climatic conditions. It is a tree that generally thrives in a variety of soil and climatic conditions with its respective varieties for each region. Olive tree is drought tolerant, however the mild and sweet climate is ideal for its cultivation. It is cultivated in deep soils, and it is preferable to avoid cultivation in sandy, light soils, because they do not retain moisture. The olive is a tree that is affected by some serious diseases, with the most important and widespread in the wider area of Beja sherpa, olive leaf spot disease, Spilacea oleagina, and olive anthracnose caused by Calototricum species, while at the same time it is threatened by important enemies such as Bactrocera olei, Praise olei, and Margeronia unionalis. As part of the project, 2 areas were studied in which the necessary meteorological stations along with sensors and traps were installed according to a zoning study that preceded. Having that said, with the active participation of the producers involved and the constant communication with local partners, we proceeded during the project at the provision of a series of smart farming advices to combat specific pests and diseases of olives, but also to provide consulting service for fertilization and irrigation. After the completion of the first year of application of smart farming services, and despite the practical difficulties that arose due to COVID-19, we could say that this was a successful year, as we are already within the environmental goals that have been set. So let's go back to Life GAIA Sense and see what have we achieved so far. We can observe a reduced use of plant protection products by 11 to 25%, depending on the crop, through the avoidance of unnecessary and untimely spraying. But also the reduction of irrigation water, which reached 25%, thanks to the optimization of each irrigation cycle, and the determination of specific time moments of their realization. Also, we have achieved of at least the same productivity on the farm, despite the alteration on cultivation method and the minimization of resources use. Furthermore, a network of well-educated farmers, cooperatives, professionals and specialists who will take advantage on the SM model across EU is being built up. And we hope that 134 new job positions will be created by January 2023. Also, in the framework of the project, we have created an informative platform which is free and fully accessible to everyone interested. As already mentioned, the platform covers many topics concerning smart farming, integrated cultivation, and of course, GAIA Sense, smart farming as a service. In the platform you will have the opportunity to watch many explanatory videos and other webinars that could be very helpful. Aside of the aforementioned, we have also set as a target the sustainability of resources for future generations and environmental protection, with an estimated deduction of greenhouse gas emissions equal to 32%, to increase the air quality due to improved nitrogen use efficiency by 30%, and to create a fully functional and applicable model of circular economy, considering the use of resources in the agricultural sector rather than the management of the outputs. Most importantly is that in the framework of Life Gaia Sense we expect the utilization of the results of the project by agricultural cooperatives but also individual farmers who are interested in benefiting from the services of smart farming while reducing the environmental impact of their production, agricultural consultants who would like to improve the services they offer to their clients by using the Gaia Sense technological tools. Scientists who would like to put into practice their research results related to irrigation, fertilization and plant protection, agriculture and environmental policy makers interested in environmentally friendly production management systems. You can find further information for all the aforementioned in our social media and website. Smart farming is not the future. It's the present, take part on it.